Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Children of the Grave, issue number 1. I like the Sabbath reference in here, especially when inside the comic book they also show the kid listening to Masters of Reality, which is rock on, baby, rock on. Not this. But granted, that was Ozzy, which was more of this, which is also Nixon. Dio for life, man. Anyway, I hate to say this, but I literally just told you my favorite parts of the comic book besides the art. The art was kicking in this. I love the art. But two writers, it reminds me of a Bruce Lee quote. Two birds, between them they have four wings, but if you tie them together, they can't fly. I don't know what the problem was here. I don't know if the editor was asleep on I don't know what's going on here. By the way, I can't read who put together this book. I mean, I can see it down here, but like it's really hard to see that. So anyway, two writers, artist, and letters. Okay. Oh no, and colorist and letters. Marco Lesko. Okay, so Justin. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Justin Birch is the letterer. Logo design is Jake Beaver. Okay, and this is Scout Comics. So boom. No, not boom. Scout. Anyway, I didn't like this book, man. Scout doesn't give me any images to show you guys, so I'm just going to show you in general the first couple of pages of the book. Again, the art is fantastic on this. I mean, this kid he's walking around. I'm thinking to myself, is this going to be like a Mad Max story, or is this going to be a Walking Dead story? You know, like are there humans trying to kill you, or undead zombies trying to kill you, as opposed to living zombies, right? Just look at that two-page spread, that panoramic. Like this is beautiful art, really great detail. I'm genuinely loving the art in this. This is the last page I'm going to show you because I don't want to get all spoilerific on you. There's also, no, I read a couple more pages after this, but at one point I did stop reading. I think I skipped maybe 8 pages in this comic book, which right away should tell you, cardinal sin. Cardinal sin. If somebody's skipping pages in your book, that's like somebody fast forwarding through a movie to get to the nudie scenes. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, by the time we get to the nudie scene in here, it's not good. It's not. It's like body horror and unnecessary body horror, by my standards at least. Um, I want to preface this by saying I don't know who the people are who made this comic book. So if the people who made this comic book swing by here, like I don't hate you. I don't think that you're a bad person. I'm not going to say you're garbage and you're terrible and the nonsense that so many other people, so many other so-called reviewers say. I'm simply saying that this comic book didn't work for me. Um, for my viewers who are looking at this and, the people who are like, 90 to 95% of what you like, I like, and 90 to 95% of things you don't like, I don't like either. So boom. Well, there's that 5 to 10% chance that I got it wrong. As for the rest of you who just, what does Professor Bill say? Okay, interesting what he said. I can see why he likes it, why he doesn't like it, whatever, and then make a judgment for myself. Yeah, you guys are the ones I'm mostly talking to right now, I imagine. So why did I skip the pages? It's because I got page after page after grueling page of exposition in this comic book of this kid, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you get to the point where you're like, I need the exposition to stop. I need you to stop telling me about this world and go effing live in the damn world. It's a comic book. If all you're going to do is write and have some pictures on the side that don't really enhance the story that you're telling me, you are writing a novel. And I don't know why you even have an artist. I feel like the art was wasted in all but the final page of this comic book. I'm not joking when I say that. There was no need for pretty much any of the art in this comic book. Maybe 2 to 3 extra panels, but only the last page had any real relevancy in this book to the story. Let's take it a step further. And I hope that this is used as constructive criticism if anybody else is ever going to put together a comic book. When you have page after page after grueling page of exposition, do not have a very stupid, fat, cyst-ridden kid who's probably never seen the rain, least off a shower, come up and start, and telling me the same story again. We're not supposed to leave the village. You know the elders say we're not supposed to leave the village. All of us children are supposed to never leave the village. I already got so many pages of this story being told to me that I skipped pages. So you have this kid come up to me in the most annoying way imaginable and tell me the same thing. Oh no, wait. The sins compile. Because then one of the priest class comes up. Brother Bumble F shows up. And he's got this wicked smile. And it's like the most tropiest of tropey tropes of an evil priest. And yeah, I got really big rapey vibes when I'm looking at this. Here's a priest class. Here's a kid who all of the kids are called children. And he's like, you will follow me to the church and we're going to lock the door behind us and have a talk. And I'm like, could you, like, I was raised Catholic, man. Thankfully, nothing ever happened to me. But brah, I started to get the heebie-jeebies when I'm sitting here reading this. Like, it's so, and it's not even like it was engaging. I'm just like, this is really uncomfortable reading this at this point. It's so tropey. And it never went the route of Walking Dead or Mad Max because I don't even know if there are things or people or whatever outside of this town. Maybe there are. Maybe they're the bad guys. Maybe they're the good guys. I don't know. But that was one way this comic book could have went. Instead, it went the worst way imaginable to my reading purview. When you have a character who's a rebel without a cause, we're really trying to get the James Dean thing here. And he's just talking about, I've got a conspiracy. Now, the people in charge of this town that I'm in are actually bad people, and that they're hiding a big secret out there, and maybe inside too, that it's better to go out and it's worse to stay in. And I'm like, okay, when you keep on telling me this is your belief, and then it comes true, where's the surprise? Where's the engagement? Instead, I'm thinking, is this just like, the dead zone? Is this just, I can see the future? Because I don't want to read a book like that, unless you tell me that's the book I'm reading, which apparently it's not. This kid just guessed pretty much everything is correct. And he's not even a cool rebel without a cause. Oh, he smokes cigarettes and he listens to, Black Sabbath. Rock on. You know what I'm saying? Ronnie James Dio, rock on, not Kiss, rock on, because I'm saying. But then, like, he jumps at the slightest noise. Somebody comes around, hello, and he's like, ah! So you're a punk ass. You're a little punk ass even. You're not a rebel. I don't know what this kid is. And I'm just so utterly disappointed because they literally they told me what was going to happen in the story, page after page after grueling page, and then told me again, and then told me again, and then it happened. I'm like, could you please just hit me? Please just hit me. Like, I could take it. Just punch me in the face and tell me, don't spend your money on this. Don't read this. Don't torture yourself like this. I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say this, but like, when I've skipped 8 pages of the comic book and I still feel the story has been told to me 4 times in the comic book, I'm wondering how many times did I miss them telling me the same story? So this was about as bad as you can get. Like, if I really had to put my thumb on how I feel about this comic book in an elevator pitch, I don't always know what my favorite comic book of the week is, but this week, I know what my least favorite was, and that should never happen. So again, this is not just me saying, this book sucks, it's garbage, it's trash, and all the things that the weakest minded, so-called reviewers could possibly say, or the people who are just going to spoil everything that happens in the comic book. Like, that's not me. I'm literally digging into and giving you the best I can as to why I didn't like this comic book. If it gets better, let me know. I won't be here for issue 2. This first issue was so bad. It's like you could almost write another book based on this comic book, as in how to not write a comic book. I'm not here to be insulting. I don't hate the writers. If I find out that they wrote something else, I will check it out. And not because I want hits because, oh, it's gonna, I don't think people really look at most people don't look at my indie comics reviews. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason for it. But I mean, when you feel the need to explain a world in such detail and it bores me and there's zero action in this. And then I take a look at something like Little Bird when that came out and it grabs you right away and they're telling you a whole new world. And the art was different. Most people would argue many people said the art was horrible. I can't imagine somebody saying the art was horrible in this. Kudos to the artist. But I mean, like with Little Bird, when we all become more interested in the story as we're reading it, because there's also some action and the art matters to what we're reading and everything's done right there, this is an example of what not to do. This, I would say, is the polar opposite of Little Bird. Go read Little Bird. Go read this and see what I mean. If anybody wanted to do better than this, please check out the difference between this book and that book, because I think it explains everything, in my opinion, because that's all that came to my mind. And I haven't thought about Little Bird in a couple months, you know? Anyway, guys, this cracked my soul, and it should have been so much better. But it is what it is. Anyway, like the video, watch an ad. Talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.